Going to find out what would happen if Russia, the largest country in the world as shown on this map, what would happen if it tried to make the USSR? Now, I might have to get a picture up of the USSR, and that I will do. Hang on. Oh. I don't care about USSR. Right, I have a map here. So if you see me looking up, that's me looking at the map. Alright? So this is currently Russia right now. It needs to invade all of these Baltic countries here. It needs to take Belarus and some of these countries like that. I'm pretty sure that's what it needs. My God. My bad. I haven't really gotten anything ready. Yeah, I'm kind of cooked at the moment. Well, no, those are the European countries. It also needs the countries down here, some countries down here, and all of these countries here. So this is all what this is what you need to become the USSR. So yeah, let's try to get this done now. This will be quick. NATO will not be included, and Russia will be buffed. As in, quite a lot of my videos, quite a lot of countries are buffed, and we have to do that here so these countries can grow freely, you know. So Russia will make a campaign into the Baltics, yeah, for Latvia, Lithuania, and another one. Next, Belarus will be like, sign me up, I'm joining you, bro. Sign me up. And that Russia will happily do, as Belarus just loves Russia. Russia will still give. Russia will just, you know, annex it. So yeah, we don't really need to go in through that. And now they share border with Kaliningrad, which is what we want. Next, we need to the next country, which will be Ukraine. I know I cut. That's because the stupid recording ended, and I have to carry on from there. Ukraine will be blitzed as Russia has all of their land. Well, not their land, but it already has some of Ukraine's land. If you don't know, search up Russia-Ukrainian war. You'll see it there. Now, no countries. I'm not simulating any countries helping Russia, because I don't think any countries want to help Russia in this devastating mission. Because if they did, then this would just be, well, this would have to drag in the US, and we are not trying to make World War III over here. Next, they will push down into Georgia. Hang on, just do that. Today isn't really going well, is it? They will push into Armenia, which will be quite easy. They'll also push into some of these other countries here, and they will encircle them and wipe them off the map. And those are all the countries that they're going to invade from here. Next, Kazakhstan. Now this will be hard for Russia, as Kazakhstan is actually kind of strong, and they're not just going to let Russia just take their land, are they? They are going to do some counter-offensives, and these counter-offensives will also have some resources helped by the US, NATO, Australia, India, and all those countries that don't like Russia. So what they'll do is they'll have... Oh, that's not what I want. So what they'll do is that they'll have the counter-offensive, but Russia will encircle lots of troops, and they will be wiped off the map. After Kazakhstan has suffered lots of fatalities, Kazakhstan will just fall to Russian hands. And yeah, huge thank you to someone named Stickman. What was it? Stickman something. He has gave me tons of happiness, and that's why I'm doing these videos. This is what I like from my viewers. Kindness is everything in this world, and it seems like Russia doesn't want any of that in the world, apparently. Not funny, didn't laugh. Tunisia, what? I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. They will fall, and so will Afghanistan, Tajikistan, and Kyrgyzstan. I don't think they had Iran, no. I don't think they even went down here. No, they didn't. Well, they are now. It's going to be a USSR that wants to expand. Now, I think the USSR means Soviet Union, so this is doing very well. It already has all the Soviet Union land that it has, and now it wants to invade other countries until it feels like it has enough. First, Mongolia. Now, most of Mongolia's population is either Russian, Mongolian, or Russian. It's mainly Chinese. Did I say Chinesian? Oh my god, I'm brain dead. And yeah, the Chinese will also get some land out of this, and the peace treaty will be half and half. Like, why are you going stupid opacity? There you go. And the peace treaty will be like this. Now, since China got some land out of Russia, Russia wants that land, and which China will agree, because now they can, because Russia will say, hey, you can get this land here, and yeah, that's what they'll get. Now, yeah. Now, Russia is going to declare war on Iran, and this is unexpected, as Iran is currently in a very bad spot, as the United States of America are threatening and attacking, well, not laying foot on enemy soil. That's not what's happening. They are dropping bombs and threatening Iran's president, or what we call Prime Minister over here. I don't know what Iranians call it, but yeah. And the US the US didn't expect to get help from Russia to invade Iran. Now, Russia wants to merge these two fronts, that's probably why, and that they succeed in. So yeah. This is basically just a Russia who lost all their allies because of their rapid expansion and their mindless military. I call them, they're not actually mindless, but they're mindless now because they're just going rogue and invading so many countries. That was Casper. I guess. I'm recording. Turkey, you will have a rough time. Because you're taken. You're just gone. Yep. Turkey really stands no real chance. Cyprus doesn't either. Russia will attack Iraq, and the rest of Iraq will be turned into a puppet state. Yeah. Syria will just give up and become a puppet state, and so will Jordan and Palestine and Lebanon and Lebanon. I think it's Lebanon. Casper, I'm recording. Sorry. Yeah. Next, Russia will go up against Finland. Now, it's currently winter at the moment, so Finland has the upper hand right now. Well, no, it's not winter right now. It is winter in this thing. Now, Russia will have a patch here of military, which will be wiped. And Finland will just move over multiple times. And, yeah. Until the winter ends. After the winter ends, Russia just blitz back. Casper! Russia will just blitz back. Naval landings will be made in a lot of places. Why are you trying to add text? Stop. Brush. There you go. And they will push in. And Finland, you're basically just cooked, as now you're getting pushed into your own country. Now Russia just wants to thicken this area here and take its Pennsylvania here. Pennsylvania, what? And everything here will just become another puppet state. Now this would trigger NATO, as Finland has been accepted into NATO, just like Sweden and Norway. And I'm now going to include NATO because Russia is strong enough to at least hold them and maybe even take out some countries. So yeah, they'll get all their troops from their puppet states over here. They'll move them up over onto these front lines here, and there'll be a huge front line across here. Now Russia will have to push in slightly, but no major advantages are made because, yeah, Sweden. Unfortunately, Sweden doesn't have a very strong military compared to Russia, and they're all the way up here. And yeah. Now Denmark will be invaded in 7 to 6 hours. And yes, that's meant to be a reference to something. I'm not saying it because I actually don't know myself. I just got it myself. If you did not know, I get these video ideas from Asdaz Pro. He's another fellow mapping YouTuber who is much larger than me. Yeah. Now Norway will be completely overthrown as they don't even, as again, the NATO forces are just focusing on their own front lines. Now they are sending support, but it's just not enough against half the Russian military. And yeah. Now Bulgaria is basically defenseless. So Russia will use this to push into Bulgaria, take Sofia, and invade pretty much the rest of Bulgaria. And Greece, you are under attack. Athens is captured by Navy, and yeah, the islands out here you're basically just cooked. Crete, you will be a little bit hard to overthrow, but you're no match to the Russians, or should I say the Soviet Union. Albania will be pushed into, and so will North Macedonia. Kosovo, Bosnia and Herzegovina's, I should not be able to say that name, and Croatoa will be overthrown. And yes, Serbia, I think it's Serbia. Serbia will be invaded, but they're the same colour as Russia in this scenario, so yeah. Now Romania is cornered from both sides, so they will try to fight their best, but overall their navy will flee and try to make a landing in this area. Don't remember what it's called, please tell me in the comments. Overall, Romania is cooked. Now, I said I was going to do a live stream. Now that is not possible because I was actually banned for live streaming. Even though I run the channel, I'm too young. I have to have an adult who actually runs the channel. I run the channel, and I have no help. My family doesn't like my YouTube channel. I have to do this all my own, and with feedback from my friends, and it's mainly good feedback, but sometimes I just yap about it too much, and yeah, and then it's not very good feedback. Now, finally, American troops and Canadian troops will arrive, and the British troops will finally make a landing in France, because they have to get all their troops onto ships and move them over, and they also have to get troops from Ireland, Iceland, and Greenland, because there are troops stationed up there just in case there is an invasion. Because the US is trying to get Greenland, and it's either Denmark lets them buy it with money, or US just takes by force, and you don't want to face the US when someone's trying to take it by force. What? I don't know. Slovakia will be taken, and so will Hungary. I only know those countries because of the mergers, like Czechoslovakia, and Austria-Hungary. But yeah, Czechoslovakia and Austria will be taken until finally the British and American troops arrive on the front line, and they overwhelm the Russians with our British accent and our hooligans with RPGs and miniguns everywhere. Well, that's mainly in America. We don't have miniguns here. With American hooligans with miniguns and flamethrowers and bloody RPGs. Yeah, you're basically cooked if you want to go against Russia. If you but with that, Russia is cooked. Germany will gain some land, and Italy will also gain some off of Austria. Now, don't get me wrong, all the countries will be brought back, and the Soviet Union will have to be stopped. China will stab Russia in the back and backstab them, invading them, and so will India, seeing that Russia, one of their enemies, is in a weakened state and they can get tons of land and people and more military. They decide to shoot in, and since these parts are unprotected, because Russia never thought they would be backstabbed by one of their largest allies, which is China, who's in the economic alliance and is basically just a really good ally. They're not a military ally though, because why would they? Chinese troops and Indian troops, I know this is surprising watching them work together. They will cut off this part of Russia and yeah. It's basically just really bloody if there was any troops here. Now these are also troops of other countries such as Nepal, Japan or South Korea, and all those, and these islands will just sink into the ocean. Yeah, I don't like Korean islands. And this little Floridian area will sink, and so will this bit over here. Now all the troops were pulled out of this area, so go on to this front line, where Russian troops have finally been stationed, but it's no match to literally all of this. Now this is Russia's downfall, as now they are dealing with two sides, and you know Russia, they're not very good at two front wars. But they will try their best, and they will push both sides back quite a lot. But overall, it will not be any luck, as they are they will have to be brung all the way back, and I mean all the way back to how they were before. Damn, that's a lot of invading, isn't it? Damn. And in fact, Russia will only get the Balkan countries, but Finland will get this Pennsylvania. China will be able to claim this area, and Japan will get this area here. South Korea will annex North Korea. China will try to do everything they can to not let this happen, but really no use. Now it's just the Koreans. Now none of them really like the Chinese. Japan will sink into the bottom of the ocean. I know, crazy, isn't it? Belarus would become Russian, will go into Russia, because Belarus is like, hey, we love Russia, we're joining him, I don't care what you say. And that, yeah, they agree. Ukraine will get land, and a lot more land than they previously had, because, you know, the Russia-Ukrainian war, we don't like that. Poland, you will get a tiny bit of land here. You also get Kaliningrad. Yeah, this isn't very good for Russia, because now they're kind of crippled. They've lost a lot of land. One of their own islands have sunk into the ocean, and more of their islands are going to sink into the ocean. Yay. And the whole northern part will sink. Because of global warming. Yeah, don't like that. No more global warming. Spam the comments with L global warming, please. Australia will be able to get this little Pennsylvania here. Because remember, Australia did help out. Now, this little land here is full of New Zealand bases and all of the other bases and other countries who helped out. And now Russia is basically just gone. Russia is basically just their mainland, their homeland. And even then, they barely have anything. This river is officially part of the sea. Oh no! Well, now they're gone. The river here will be bombed. There will be bombing here so the rivers can meet up with actual oceans. So now it's actually a drinking supply for Russia. So at least Russia gets a little bit of something. But overall it's really nothing. It's really nothing very good. Because then there's more floods. We don't like floods. We don't have floods here in the UK. And I live right there. Thank you all so much for watching this episode or this video. This was not meant to be realistic, but I hope you all enjoyed. And yeah, just peace out, my dudes, I guess.